Containerization has changed the game. Now you don't have to have full virtual machines dedicated to a single application. Now you can have a bare metal server or a virtual machine running multiple containers in one single machine or instance. In my last video, I gave you an introduction to Docker. Check that video out for a better understanding of exactly what Docker is. When it comes to containerization, Docker is one of the biggest names in the game, and it's one thing you're definitely going to want to have in your tech tool belt. This is B from Take Talk Tech, and today I want to show you how to install Docker on Debian-based distributions as well as Fedora-based distributions. So stick with me. I have a favor to ask. If you like this type of video and want to see more content like it, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell button for notifications. Also, don't forget to give this video a like if you like it. Let me know what you liked, didn't like, or if you have any comments, questions, concerns, or emotional outbursts down in the comments below. And lastly, stick around all the way to the end to get the most out of this video. Let's do this thing. So a couple things before we begin. So today, this video is going to focus on the Docker engine, which is the command line tool that we're going to be utilizing to actually interact with Docker in this video and in future videos as well. Now, if you want to see me cover and install the Docker desktop, which gives you that GUI option or graphical user interface, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll definitely consider making that video. Now, there are a few different ways to install it. You can install it by adding it to your package manager repositories directly from Docker. You can install it using a package specific to your distribution directly from Docker, or you can use a convenience script provided by Docker. Today, we're going to be covering installing it through the repository route because that's going to be the easiest to manage and keep up to date. Now, I will be showing you how to do it on a Debian-based system as well as a Fedora-based system, as I said previously. Now, I know there are some people out there that are going to say, well, I can install it directly from the existing distribution repositories, and you are more than welcome to go ahead and take that route. Now, the issue that I have with that is you will not always have the most up-to-date version, which could put you at a security risk. So if you install it directly from your existing distribution repositories, do that at your own risk. My method will show you how to add the repos directly from Docker and keep yourself secure. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to shrink my face down here. All right, and we're going to go ahead and start off with doing it through Debian. All right, so the first thing that we're going to want to do is, just like anytime you're installing anything, you want to make sure your system's up to date. Apt update. Go, and this one I actually recently updated it, so it is good to go. All right, so the next thing that we're going to need to do is we're going to need to install a couple of applications. So let's go ahead and do that here. All right, we're going to be installing CA certificates, curl, and GNU PG. Now, curl is basically like wget. It allows you to it allows you for transferring data similar to wget. CA certificates is used for validating SSL/TLS certificates. That's one of the ways that the most common way that these are used is on the internet. And then GNU PG is also known as GNU Privacy Guard, which is an open source version of PGP. And we're going to be using this for the key, to make sure we have the correct key and all that stuff when we are doing this process. And I'm not going to get into that too much here, just because that is a whole different video in itself. So let's go ahead and stick with it here. So let's go ahead and install these. It shouldn't take too long. And you may already have some of them installed. If you do, hey, great. If not, then you got it installed again, or maybe just got it updated. So all right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next step. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create this file. Let me clear this out. All right, we're going to use the install command, which is different than apt install or DNF install. Essentially, what the install command does, it allows you to copy files and create directories with the added benefit of assigning ownership and permission. So that's actually what we're going to be doing here. Is we're going to be going ahead and creating a directory called etc apt keyrings, and we're going to go ahead and set its permissions with 0755. So instead of doing first, the mkdir and then the chmod, we're doing it all in one single command, because literally in Linux, there's a command for just about anything your little heart desires. And if there's not one that's built in, then you can always add it. So that's one of the great things about Linux. So let's go ahead and do that. And this directory may already be created on your system, so that is okay. It's no harm, no foul. A lot of them already, most days, these days, already utilize this this directory. So, all right, perfect. We've got this one done, and we've set it to the permissions again to 755, which is going to be for the owner, read, write, execute. For the group owner, just read and write, and for the others, it's going to be just read and I'm sorry, these are read and execute. My apologies, not read and write. These are read and execute. They will not be able to write to the file. All right, so we've got that done there. So, all right, so now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to run another command. This one's kind of a long one, so let's go ahead and put that in there. So we're going to be running curl tac lowercase f, lowercase s, capital S, capital L, and then we're going to go ahead and go to this URL here. And then we're going to go ahead and put the pipe here, because we're going to go ahead and take that output and we're going to pipe it into this command, which is going to be sudo gpg tac darmor tac o, and then etc apt keyrings / docker gpg. And what this is going to do is it's going to grab the gpg key from Docker's website and then transfer it into something that our system understands and can use. And the reason we want this key is because we want to make sure that we're legitimately getting it from the right place. We want to make sure that, hey, we got this directly from Docker's repositories. We have this key. That's how we know. So if anybody were trying to impersonate Docker with a different key, it'd be like, hey, this isn't the right one. So it'll alert you and let you know. So definitely another way to keep your system secure. All right, so the next thing that we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and hit enter here. We'll let it do its thing, and we didn't get any output, so that is perfect. That means everything went through successfully. All right, now the next thing is pretty long. Let me just get this here. All right, we're going to go ahead and put in this command. And essentially what this command is going to do is it's going to add all the information needed for the repository to the following file, which is going to be where is it? Etc apt sources .list.d / docker .list. It's going to add it to that file. The etc apt sources .list.d is a directory to put individual files for individual repositories. Let me see here. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and let this execute. There we go. Perfect. We didn't get any errors or anything like that. And one of the things that I always like to point out here is it's sending errors. It's sending other like the like errors and stuff and other like any like I'm sorry, not errors, but output. It's sending it to the to dev null, which is basically just a black hole. I've actually got a video on that if you want to go check that out. So. All right, perfect. We got that done. Let's clear that out. Now we're going to go ahead and install everything that's needed for Docker. Perfect. Oh, whoops. Forgot to do the sudo. Forgot the most important step here. Let's clear this out. Sudo apt update. All right, and now we're going to go ahead and do it. There we go. Let's let it do its thing. Perfect. There we go. Now, let's go ahead and test it. We're going to do sudo docker run hello tac world. There we go. All right, perfect. There we go. All right, everything is good to go. See, and you can see right here, hello from Docker. This message shows that your installation appears to be working correctly. So perfect. Yeah, that command lets us test and make sure that everything is working successfully. All right. Easy peasy. Now you're ready to go out with Docker with a Debian or Ubuntu-based system. All right. And let's go ahead and switch over to Fedora, which is this one right here. Let's clear this out. This one's going to be quite a bit more streamlined. Sudo dnf update tac y. All we're going to do here is we're just going to update everything just like we did on Debian. Perfect. It is going to take just a minute here to go ahead and get updated. I did not update this one beforehand. And I'm actually not using the the Fedora desktop version. I'm actually using Fedora server because not everybody knows that Fedora actually has a server version. So I just did it because then I didn't have to remove the GUI and stuff like that. And I'm sure I could like go in there and actually like install Fedora without a graphical user interface, but I didn't want one. This was the easier method. So that's the method that we're taking here. So let's give it just a second here to go ahead and finish up. There we go. We've got that all complete. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do sudo dnf install. We're going to go ahead and install the, what do they call these? The, DNF, DNF plugins tac core. Oh, whoops, put that in there wrong. Perfect, and it's actually already installed on the system. Now, this is just in case it is not already installed. What this is going to do is it's going to add all the core plugins available for DNF to enhance its functionality, and that's essentially what the plugins are, and that's usually what plugins are in a general sense, is that they allow you to enhance something that's not part of the core functionality of the basic installation of an application. So all right, so we got that, and then what this is going to the plugin this is going to allow for us to utilize, it's going to allow us to use the config manager, which allows us to add repos to DNF. So, all right, so the next thing that we're going to do is let's clear this out, sudo DNF config tac manager. Then we're going to do tac add, and then we're going to go ahead and put in the URL. For the repo, perfect, and there we go. We didn't get any errors there, so it should be added now. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and install Docker. So it's a few shorter commands. That's one of the great things about Fedora is that in using Fedora and Red Hat is there's some simpler ways, and you can, I'm sure there is ways to do this in other package managers, but just out of the box functionality, and even just having to all you have to do is simply just add a plugin to make it much more functional. For your purposes, it's awesome. I really like Fedora and DNF. All right, let's go ahead and get all this installed. All right, and it'll take just a minute to go ahead and install. Yes. Almost done. Perfect, complete. Yes. Sudo docker run hello world. Oh, let's see here. Let's try that again. I don't know why it's not running. When I ran it last night, it ran without doing anything else. Okay. Let's take a look here. I forget what the Docker daemon's called. Docker service. Okay, so it's just that. Okay, so it did not automatically start the daemon, which it did on Debian. So what we're gonna do is sudo system ctl start. Then we're gonna go ahead and do Docker. Perfect. There we go. And if you want to go ahead and make sure that it's activated on boot, just do sudo system. I'm actually going to bring this up to the top because my face gets in the way here. And I always forget about that. Sudo system ctl enable Docker. There we go. And it has been added. So now let's go sudo docker run hello world. Perfect. There we go. It has been installed successfully. So yes, that was not too painful, with the exception of that little bit there right at the end. But hey, we survived. And honestly, what is a video without a little on-the-fly troubleshooting? It creates a much better experience. So now you're ready to dive in headfirst into the world of containerization through Docker. I will be putting together additional Docker videos, so make sure you subscribe for that. If you want the explanation of Docker, go ahead and check out my last video. If you've already watched it, check out this other video instead. Remember, mistakes make you better, so keep on making them. Thank you so much for watching my video and have the greatest of days.